Back again with a belated BookTrek 2022 book haul. I did purchase 2 lots of TOS novels off of eBay, which I have shown you guys already in other videos, but these are all the books I've purchased either individually or in small groups from various places online. So let's start with the Wild West of Star Trek novel books. The first one is Spock Must Die by James Blish. Really nice condition considering how old it is. The next one is Devil World by Gordon Acklin. I really like this cover. I think the cover's really pretty. Also in really nice condition. The Starless World, also by Gordon Acklin. I've already read this one as well and also really enjoyed it. Price of the Phoenix by Sandra Marshak and Myrna Colbrath. Have not read this one yet. I will read this one next year. And then a book of Star Trek fan fiction called Star Trek Lives, Personal Notes and Anecdotes. Oh no, this isn't the one with fan fiction. What the creatives of Star Trek are doing now, their goals and achievements since Star Trek, and their plans for Star Trek's return. And of course, this was published in July of 1975, so it's what they were doing as of 1975. I'm really looking forward to this one. This is the one with fan fiction. A Star Trek The New Voyages, edited by Sandra Marshak and Myrna Colbrath. I believe this is the first one in a little 2-part fan fiction book. And I do have the second one, which I got in one of my other eBay boxes. Then I picked up Uhuras Song by Janet Kagan. The Tears of the Singers by Melinda Snodgrass, and I was very disappointed with this purchase. It looked like it was in really good condition. Unfortunately, the cover of the book was completely detached, but you couldn't see that in the picture because it was lined up perfectly. But what are you going to do? Then I got a trilogy called the Legacies Trilogy, and the first one is called Captain to Captain. The second one is called Best Defense. I really like the covers of these books as well. And I'm looking forward to reading these. Apparently there's some secret that's been passed on to every captain of the Enterprise over its life. So I'm dying to know what the secret is. The third one is called Purgatory's Key. Then we go on to the Star Trek The Next Generation novels. The first one here is Dark Mirror by Diane Duane, and this is, of course, has something to do with the Mirror Universe. And I kind of like the Mirror Universe, so I'm looking forward to reading that one. The next one is Intellivore by Diane Duane as well. Then I got books 2 and 3 from the Continuum trilogy. I bought these in one of my local thrift shops for 50 cents a piece, and they didn't have book 1, but I did order book 1, so it should be here in the next couple days from Amazon. I had to buy it used, of course, because apparently it's out of print. But book 2 is called Q Zone by Greg Cox. Book 3 is called Q Strike by Greg Cox. I actually don't remember what the first book is called now. The next one, which is not part of the Q Continuum, as far as I know, is called Q Squared by Peter David. Q was one of the really great Star Trek The Next Generation characters, wasn't he? And then I've got 1 through 28 in the Next Gen numbered novels, and then this one is book 29. Again, I found this one in the thrift shop when I found those Q Continuum books, so I picked it up. Oh, it's called Sins of Commission by Susan Wright. And then a newer Star Trek novel, I picked up Shadows Have Offended by Cassandra Rose Clark. I think I saw this one on Vin's channel. And then Agents of Influence by Dayton Ward. Oh, both of these 2 novels, by the way, I picked up off a book outlet for a real good price. And then the last fiction novel was The Captain's Table by various authors. I've seen Steve Donahue talk about this twice on his channel, or at least twice. It could have been 3 times. And this time I decided I was going to get this book. And I found it. It's in really good shape. Got this for $10. Then I got, oh, I almost forgot about a fiction book. This one is Reunion by Michael Jan Friedman. And I picked this one up because I had read Death in Winter by Michael Jan Friedman. And I really loved the plot of that book, even though I was very frustrated by all the callbacks. There were also references to this novel in that book. So I thought I would go ahead and buy this and read it so that I would at least understand what took place when he reunites with the Stargazer crew. Then I got 2 nonfiction Star Trek books. The first one is To the Storge by George Takei. It's his autobiography. And the next one is Star Trek Memories by William Shatner with Chris Kresge. So I was pleased to find these as well. And finally, I picked up a Star Trek Next Gen coffee table book, which I absolutely love. It was put together by Denise and Michael Okuda. Let me show you this book without the dust jacket. I was very, very pleased. It's my favorite kind of book, where it looks just like the dust jacket. So yay for that. I love it. This book has all kinds of neat little things inside of it. It's got a history of ships named the Enterprise. And then it's got Memorable Voyages of Discovery, which just sort of touches on some of the various highlights in the timeline from Next Generation. And then it has this really nice little detailed diagram of all of the parts of the outside of the Enterprise. And it folds out. Let me make sure I'm not going to tear this when I do it. I'm not going to fold them both out. There's one side, as you can see. Little schematic type of image here. If I can keep the glare off of it. I'm not going to fold the other side, but you get the idea. Then it goes through all the different parts of the inside of the Enterprise and gives you some details about the things there. And then the book continues on to give you other little details about the starship. And I just absolutely love this book. I thought it was so much fun to look through. So I think that covers all the Star Trek books I've purchased this year. And so I'll call that the end of this video.